Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Lakes, Trails, and Nature Tales. Today we find ourselves in beautiful Cheshire, Massachusetts. I'm here with my daughter, and we are hiking up to the Cobbles. So it's about 1,700 feet. We parked at the Notch Road parking lot, and we had to walk up probably 300 or 400 feet just to cross and where it transects the Appalachian Trail. And then we're going to go and hike the remaining 1,700 feet up to the Cobbles. And that total is about a mile and a half. And then from there, we're going to hike probably do an out and back, maybe 3 miles or so. Then turn around and maybe go into Dalton, Massachusetts, which is the opposite direction. And then maybe tomorrow actually hit Mount Greylock here in beautiful Massachusetts. So thank you for joining us. Again, this is a video diary for family and friends. Hopefully you can kind of join us on our trip here via the internet and online. But we certainly would love to be with everyone. So we'll take some neat photos and pictures and videos along the way and share them with you. And hopefully you can join us for the remainder of our trip, where we will be going up into New Hampshire and hiking some of the White Mountains. In addition, we're going to go to Acadia, where we are going to be biking. Hopefully, our goal is to bike all of the carriage path trails, as well as hike many of the trails or backpack many of the trails in Acadia. I believe there are about 125 or 145 miles of trail. But we have a week to do it. We're going to be there during the 4th of July as well. And so that is going to be an opportunity to see some fireworks. I believe it's across the bay there in Bar Harbor. And then from there, we are going to the northern terminus of the Appalachian Trail, which is Mount Katahdin, specifically Baxter State Park. We will be staying in Baxter State Park for 5 days, and we are going to be able to then hike some of the trails. And hopefully, if we can build up our endurance and feel gutsy enough, we will climb Mount Katahdin. I don't think we'll climb the Mount Katahdin trail that typically the AT goes on. I think we're going to go the backside up Saddle Trail. It's a little bit easier via Chimney Pond. But if we get there, we'd love to have you joining us along the adventures, and hopefully we take a video every day and be able to publish it for our family and friends. If not, maybe every 2 or 3 days. I will admit that this is a new camera, a new video editing process, so this may take us a little bit of time to get used to. Still trying to figure out how to use it and edit and post into a YouTube channel for our family and friends. But certainly enjoy sharing some of the sites with you, and if everything works out, we will have some great adventures together. So thanks again for joining us on Lakes, Trails, and Nature Tales. My name is Don Lakes, and thanks for joining us. from the Cobbles. 1,700 feet. Appalachian Trail, just outside of Cheshire, Massachusetts. A beautiful bluebird sky day. If I'm not mistaken, that is the town of Cheshire. What a beautiful day. Well worth the short hike up. Looks like more than one person has camped here before. Cowboy camped. Alright, so I just wanted to show you my lunchroom for this afternoon actually. So we're gonna get ready to eat lunch. But here I am at the Cobbles, and I'll share you with you what I'm gonna eat for lunch. So typically for lunch, we would do something like this. Have a snack bar here from Fulfill, salted caramel, good protein bar. Have 2 wraps with pulled pork, as well as some peanut butter. And then these are very, very lightweight. These are like 1.5 ounces and stack 230 calories. And then I still have some leftover coffee with protein powder in it and some water, and mix that in with some good spicy Planters nuts. So that'll be lunch for today, and we'll catch up down the road. Take care, and thanks again for joining us here on Lakes, Trails, and Nature Tales. All right, welcome back to Lakes, Trails, and Nature Tales. We just finished lunch, overlook of the Cobbles, overlooking Cheshire, Maine, and Margot and I have decided to go down to Gulf Road, where the AT passes, and we're going to hike, I believe, northbound for a little while. So we will take you on that adventure as well. So as we walk out from the Cobbles, that happens to be a blue blaze that you can see here, and that blue blaze then takes you another about 200 feet into the Cobbles. You actually have an opportunity then to come back and either go northbound or southbound to the AT. We actually hike up from the Notch Pond parking area, so we're going to go return to that area quickly. Should only take us about a half hour to get back to the parking lot, and then look forward to sharing some new footage with you. right, if we were to continue northbound, we would go to the left, but we're actually headed back to the parking lot. And again, we're going to go over the golf road and pick up the AT over that way. Alright, so here we are. We're finishing up our ascent and descent up to the Cobbles in Cheshire, Maine. It's about a 1,700 foot climb. We are now arriving back at the parking lot, the Notch Road parking lot. And took a couple hours. We took our time, ate lunch up there, stopped, had a pleasure of talking to a couple thru hikers. Teddy on the trail spent a considerable amount of time talking to us about hiking northbound, and we actually ran into a couple of thru hikers that we met at Angela's Sub Shop in Dalton, and so they were continuing on with their hike. So for now, we will part ways and then see you here in a little bit for the second half of the day. So here's an interesting gift to Thomas Jefferson. Cheshire gave him the 1,200-pound block of cheese. And interesting, the inscription on the back, I guess this was Thomas Jefferson. Interesting saying based on today's world and the environment that we're growing up in. See you here in a little bit. We're going to go off to Bolts Road Access Trail and begin hiking the AT again. Oh, good afternoon. We just arrived at the Gulf Road Shelter. That is where the AT intersects in Dalton, Massachusetts, as you walk actually southbound out of town. So we're actually going to be walking southbound now, back towards the Cobbles, where we came from. So we're going to do about a 3-mile hike up to Crystal Mountain Shelter or campsite, and then we're going to probably eat lunch there, a second lunch, and then we're going to probably come back down and then go on to find another trail or a nature preserve in town. So join us for our hike. Thanks. right, let's see, we're about a half mile from the Crystal Mountain shelter. I'm not sure if it's a shelter or a campsite. So it was about almost 3 miles up from the parking lot where we started. And we got about a half mile left. Beautiful, beautiful old growth forest here in Massachusetts. Pristine trails, a lot of ferns. Trail very, very well maintained. Very impressed with Massachusetts in this section. So we're gonna stop up here for our second lunch and probably turn around and head back to the car, and then hopefully maybe find a nature preserve to hike at later on this evening. So again, thanks for walking with us, and Mark and I are being really safe, going very slow, but there's so much to look at. So we'll get back with you, and hopefully we'll see you here in a second. Right, it's about 4 o'clock. We just finished eating at the Crystal Mountain Shelter. Actually, it's a campsite. Had a privy, so we were able to use the privy, and now we're going to head back to the car. We got about it ended up being about 3 miles up here. We took our time, but we're going to have to kind of boogie back. It's getting a little bit late in the day. Just wanted to show you what a bear box is. So typically this is a bear box where you can put your food overnight and kind of keeps bears from getting into your food. Looks like somebody left some hot sauce down there for somebody. But yeah, that kind of keeps everybody safe and keeps the bears away. So if I come across something neat to film, we will go ahead and film that. Margaret's already ahead of me, so I got to catch up to her. But thanks again for walking with us, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of the videos. Bye-bye. All right, so we're wrapping up the day. So just a little bit of a recap on our first day in Massachusetts. Absolutely incredible, beautiful state so far. This is actually, I believe, the first time I've hiked in Massachusetts. And trails are, this particular trail and the one we went on this morning at the Cobbles overlook was absolutely beautiful. Very well maintained. Saw a lot of thru hikers today, a lot of northbounders. Had a chance to speak to some of them about some of their trail experiences and get some tips on what's making them successful now that I guess they're roughly 1,500 miles into their trip as they cruise through some, and they just fly right by me. I mean, Margaret and I are maybe doing 2 miles an hour, and they seem to be flying by us. But beautiful day so far. We're going to wrap up. We have another about 1.5 miles back to the truck, which is sitting at the base of the hill. And yeah, so it's a great trip so far. You know, and Margaret and I have been talking, and you know, we've realized that getting out here is very fortunate. Being able to spend time with one another in such a beautiful setting is really kind of special. You don't get a chance to do this a lot. A lot of people don't get a chance to do this as often as they should. So I'm taking every opportunity to do this in the next month. It's going to be absolutely incredible with her. And also then incredible to share this with my family back home, who have sacrificed, especially my wife, Annette. I'm very thankful for you allowing me to supporting me and allowing me to do this with Margot. And you know, we're taking every opportunity. One thing I learned, I remember walking in the hospital with my wife when we were taking care of my elderly mother, is a saying on the it was on the floor of the hospital. It said, "Health is your greatest wealth." And I'm coming to realize that as I get a little bit older, is that all these aches and pains you feel climbing up and down these mountains, you know, they add up. And so, you know, turning backpacking into a steady diet of physical exercise, I think is not only going to be great for me physically, but also, you know, getting out here in nature is going to be absolutely wonderful mentally and emotionally as well. Spending time with my daughter, having some great deep conversations with her about her dreams and what she wants to do and the next steps. All my, you know, kids are just doing absolutely wonderful. And again, thanks to my wife. But you know, I've had the chance to spend the outdoors with all of my children. But you know, getting out here again for the first time with Margot is just bringing up a lot of great memories with my 2 other children. Never did get a chance to spend a month with them like I am going to be with her. But this is a absolutely wonderful adventure. And you just you got to kind of seize every every moment. It's kind of like every day is a treasure, kind of the golden ticket, if you will, for life. Being able to figure out what you love to do and the people that you love to spend time with, and in the setting that you do that, I think goes a long way towards being really happy with what you're doing. And so with that, we are almost back to the trailhead now, and if there's anything else to kind of show you on the way down, I will do that. But for now, this is the end of the first day. Thank you for sitting around and joining us for hopefully what'll be a 20 or 30 minute video. And I promise they'll get better as we move forward. But this is kind of the first day of our filming for Lakes, Trails, and Nature Tales. And again, it's just kind of a video diary of the things that we're going to be doing. It's about one of the only pieces of insects that we've seen all day, besides the bugs. No bears. Saw some chipmunks, lots of birds, but not too many furry creatures yet. Love to see a bear. Love to see some chipmunks. Margot sees something here real quick.
Chipmunk.
Where's the chipmunk at?
He's over there. He's right by there. On the log.
On the log.
Or next to the log.
Next to the log. I don't see him. Oh well. We'll catch up to him. Alright, if you can play Where's Waldo with the chipmunk, feel free to stop the camera and try and do that. Where do you see a chipmunk?
It's straight ahead. It's sitting on that little rock right there.
A chipmunk sitting on a rock.
Yeah, it's sitting on the rock right there. There's the log going across right there, and then there's the chipmunk on the rock.
Log going across.
And then the chipmunk is right there by the rock. He's a lighter chipmunk.
Oh my goodness, I cannot see a chipmunk.
Oh.
Is he behind the grass?
Yeah, he's sitting on the rock.
Oh, he's behind the grass. Oh, I see
him now. He's sitting on the rock.
Oh, here, let me zoom in. Hold on. Let me see if we can zoom in on him here. All right, he's right there below the log in the center behind the grass. I don't know how my daughter saw that, but she has those magical eyes that you can just spot anything. As my wife always says, we go somewhere hiking and she finds everything. So we'll see what happens down the road here, down the path, down the trail, and maybe we'll come across the bear. That'd be kind of nice to see at a distance, and or something else interesting. We'll get back with you. Came from way up there. So we have about another quarter mile to go, and we'll be sorry about that transition. We have about another quarter mile, maybe a 0.3 down to the trailhead, and then kind of give a recap, and hopefully I'll be able to put in, or at least be able to share up on the video screen, the kind of the elevation guide for our trip up to Crystal Mountain Shelter, as well as kind of the elevation profile for the Cobbles this morning. Again, all these are on the Appalachian Trail, so it's kind of easy to go into all trails and kind of do a copy paste, and so you'll be able to see what we were able to do on the trail today. And I think this particular climb was, if I'm not mistaken, about 1,200 feet up with about a 200-foot descent cumulative. So it really wasn't too bad of a day. Just nice to kind of get out and stretch your legs. We're getting out of getting out of the woods at about the right time. It's starting to kind of get dark. Sun's starting to set, as you can kind of see behind me. It's getting to be low light. But overall, again, for our first day of being out, we were able to do, I think, 3.5 this morning. This turned into, I think, a 6.6 mile out and back. So getting upwards around 10 or so, and that's good for us. So we're not going to be hopefully sore tomorrow. And we will continue with our adventures. Next on the itinerary is going to be the White Mountains of New Hampshire. We will be able to hopefully get out on several trails, and depending on our conversations, we will decide what kind of trails we want to take. Easy, moderate, or super challenging up there. I would love to be able to walk some of Franconia Notch. I would love to be able to walk and hike up to Lonesome Lake, which is a lake that my wife and I know very well, and that we walked up there probably 1993, 92, maybe even before that, and I have not been back since. So it'd be great to kind of turn another chapter and go up there with my daughter and show her the wonderful place that Annette and I have been. And then also Annette and I took a lot of bike rides up and down the Franconia Notch area there in front of the Flume and Old Man of the Mountain, which I understand may not be the Old Man of the Mountain anymore. I believe part of his granite jaw dropped. So I'm not sure, but we'll see. So we plan to kind of intersperse some backpacking, some cycling, some walking. Not all challenges, but we're certainly out here to get healthier and to see nature and some of the most beautiful parts of the country. And this little layover today in Massachusetts was just a kind of a way to break up a long road trip. But the primary objective has always been hiking the White Mountains, hiking Acadia, spending a lot of time there, backpacking and biking, and we may even get a little canoeing and fishing in. And then moving on into Baxter State Park. But actually, before we go to Baxter, we're going to spend 2 or 3 nights, actually 4 nights, I believe, in Monson, Maine, which is the beginning of the 100-mile wilderness. So we're going to be kind of doing a combo glamping and roughing it, because the first night we arrive, we're going to be actually staying in a cabin, and then we're going to go hike the AT, kind of doing out and back for 2 days, 2 or 3 days, and then end on the 4th day back in a cabin before proceeding up to Baxter State Park. So I'll get back with you soon. All right, well, let's try take 2 on that one. Again, learning how to operate this new camera has its challenges, but I think I just ran out of my battery. So anyway, I replaced that. Luckily, with this Osmo 4, DJI Osmo 4, there are 3 batteries that comes with it. So when one runs down, you can simply replace it and keep going. So anyway, I'm not quite sure how far I got. I will go back and obviously look at this particular part of our journey and do a little bit of a recap, maybe back at the at our campsite tonight, or I'll give you the itinerary at a future date. I'm not quite sure how far I got through that before it shut off. But anyway, again, thanks for sticking around as long as you did. My goal is to put out a video every day of our journey. Again, 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, just so everybody can kind of keep track of kind of where we're going and what we're doing, and it kind of keeps us honest with making sure we get these miles in to stay active, which is what we're trying to do, as well as see some beautiful parts of the country. So until then, take care. This is day 1, Saturday, and we'll catch up to you tomorrow. Take care. Have a good night.